really a dream come true. You know, it's everything you've been working for since you were knee high, and this is where you want to be, and now it's trying to find a way where you can stay. But very exciting, obviously, knowing I had a long season coming from AA, stopping AAA and back here, so it's very exciting, and I'll try to make the best of it.
And there he is, 23-year-old left-hander Jeff Locke, about ready to make his Major League debut as the Pirates look to even the series against the Florida Marlins. The Fish winning big last night. And again, the Pirates look to even the score. Game 2 of the 3-game set. Greg Brown along with Steve Blass. And anytime a Pirate makes his Major League debut, we always ask you, Steve, what must that player be feeling right now in the case of Jeff Locke?
Well, it's the most exciting day in his life. And probably it was a very long night last night, a longer day waiting to go down there and warm up. But this is a day that he'll never, ever forget. Take a look at his resume with Indianapolis and Altoona, Eastern League, midseason All-Star, came over from the Braves in the Nate McLeod deal. And according to Clint Hurdle, this young man should be ready to go out there and face Major League batters tonight.
We talked to Clint Hurdle earlier today about Jeff Locke.
I'd like to see him just take the ball and go with it. That's easier said than done. It's going to be an exciting day for him. What he has done the last second half, I should say, of the season is get the ball, get a sign, and make pitches. Command has been above average. Location's been very good. He's pitched with confidence. He's pitched to both sides of the plate.
So he is our day key matchup of the day, Jeff Locke against the Marlins. Meanwhile, birthday boy Neil Walker is 26 years old today. We're going to celebrate with fireworks after the game. The Buccos and the Fish are coming up next. The bullpen along with pitching coach Ray Sirich. And his teammates in the dugout as he prepares for his first Major League start. And moments ago, taking the mound here at PNC Park in front of a very large crowd. Emilio Bonifacio will be followed by Brian Peterson and Omar Infante, Gabby Sanchez, John Buck, and Donnie Murphy. And it's Matt Dominguez, Vinny Rotino, and Anibal Sanchez for the Florida Marlins. And first pitch underway, ball one on Bonifacio.
Well, there's one first out of the way. First Major League pitch delivered by Jeff. And there's his first strike. A night of firsts. And as we said in the open, a night that he'll remember for a long, long time.
A fly ball to center, hit deep. McCutchen with room makes the catch. Bonifacio doesn't hit a ball much farther than that, but there's the first out of the way for this 23-year-old left-hander. He actually, Steve, got better after being promoted from AA to AAA.
Yeah, and I like that ratio of strikeouts to walks. Almost 3-to-1, so you want him to throw strikes. As Clint Hurdle said, he gets the sign, gets the ball, and throws it. You kind of like that factor, too, that he's not tentative. Get the ball and trust what you're going to deliver.
From North Conway, New Hampshire. Got several family and friends on hand tonight, including his mom and dad, Pam and Alan, his two sisters, Carol and Cindy, his Aunt Carol, cousin James, his girlfriend Selena's here, his best buddy Todd and his girlfriend Amy. They're all watching Jeff Locke make his Major League debut. Brian Peterson takes its 1-1 strike.
You know, keep in mind, Greg, you mentioned he's from New Hampshire. That's up in an area where when you're in school you schedule 30 games and you play about 15 because of the weather. So it's not like he grew up in Southern California where he's playing baseball continually and had a lot of opportunities to pitch on a regular basis, play on a regular basis. It's a different program in New England. It's tough to get those innings in. But here he is.
Originally, he was a second-round draft pick of the Atlanta Braves out of Crosby Kennett High School in North Conway, New Hampshire.
Yeah, and he's not all that big, 6'1", 214. That might be exaggerations on both counts.
Yeah, he's not quite 6 foot for sure. 3-2 the count.
But 92 miles an hour, you don't have to be 6'6", 250 kind of guy to have that good live arm. He was rated the 8th best prospect in the Pirate organization coming into this season.
Shakes off McHenry. And he went with a fastball and walked him. Brian Peterson is aboard. So a fly out to center and a walk. And now Omar Infante is Jeff Locke, along with Ray Searage, watching closely.
I can't think of a better personality than a Ray Searage personality for a youngster who's got a lot of things going inside his stomach and his head, getting ready to make his Major League debut. I would think that Ray is as calming an influence as you're probably going to find, although you can't calm everything down.
Ball lined toward right field, but that will be just fine for Ryan Ludwig. No problem there. So Ludwig takes care of that liner by Omar Infante, who had 2 home runs last night. It brings up Gabby Sanchez. Another guy who's here is Tom Filer, who was his pitching coach at Altoona last year and his pitching coach at AAA Indianapolis this season. Dean Trainer, the skipper of Indy, also with the club.
I'll trust you not to mention last night again.
No.
Thank you.
No, sir.
It was not much fun at all. Painful.
Yep. Gabby Sanchez now, who pinch ran for Jose Lopez and stayed in the ball game last night. Sorry, had to mention it. But it is worth noting that these Marlins are banged up. They lost Lopez to an injury. Mike Stanton, their right fielder, hamstring trouble. He was forced to leave the game last night. Logan Morrison banged his knee up against that concrete wall, and the runner goes. It's a stolen base. This is also something we'll watch closely because one of the scouting reports on Jeff Locke, according to some, is that he has had trouble holding runners. As you take a look at the Mike Stanton injury, Allegheny General Hospital Sports Medicine injury update. Right hamstring injury in the third inning. Jack McKeon. Stanton said he was okay. If he was okay, then that effort wasn't acceptable. Old school Jack McKeon.
Vintage Jack. And it's accurate.
Ryan Peterson steals his first stolen base, by the way.
You get the idea that Stanton's hurting. It's just that they haven't had a chance to communicate. But Jack's going to let you know his thoughts, his philosophy, his approach. And I'm sure they'll get that all worked out. And you know they will, because Mike Stanton is a talent. I mean, he is a serious, serious talent.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Gabby Sanchez.
And Greg, too, that a rookie kid making his first start, they're going to test him whether he might have the best move in the world, and they're going to try him out.
Fastball misses.
Right, the scouting report said that not particularly quick. But it also said we're talking about 8th best prospect and best changeup in the Pirate minor league organization. So we'll see how that plays out.
You look at some of these publications that have been out over the past year or so that talk about different prospects, and Jeff Locke, one talked about how maybe not the most athletic and a fairly slow delivery might lead to opportunities for somebody to run, and that ball nicked Sanchez. He walks a man, hits a man, and now John Buck.
But his manager already likes him pitching inside.
Absolutely. And that will go over big with Clint Hurdle.
Protect your pitching room. And now McHenry out to talk. You know, you take a look at this lineup for the Pirates. Ludwig and Lee, yeah, they've been around a while, but the rest of it, kind of a collection of the baby buccos. And Presley and Andrew hasn't been around all that long. Neil Walker, but then you got Alvarez, Darno, McHenry, Locke.
Both teams featuring some young players.
Indeed. 26th birthday today for Mr. Neil Walker. We're talking about birthdays. We'll shout out a birthday wish to Arnold Palmer, 82 today.
Not bad company.
Yeah, really.
John Buck hitting 5th. Last night in the 8th spot of the order was 2 for 5. Drove in a run. He now has 54 runs batted in. 31-year-old veteran from Kemmerer, Wyoming. 2 on, 2 out. Jeff Locke. Major league debut tonight. And 1 ball and 1 strike. In high school, he was known as the Redstone Rocket. He lived in the Redstone section of his hometown, North Conway, New Hampshire. Again, a 2nd-round pick of the Braves in 2006. And on June 3rd, 2009, the Pirates acquired him along with Charlie Morton and Gorkys Hernandez. They sent Nate McLouth to the Braves. And the Pirates were thrilled to be able to get Locke in that deal. Very important part of that trade. Swing and a miss. 1 and 2.
So the Redstone Rocket, he's known now here in Pittsburgh already as the young man with the biggest hat on the ball club. I don't think his hat size is all that big, but that hat looks very big. And that breaking ball looks very nice.
Curveball from Locke has John Buck in the hole, 1 and 2. Another breaking ball, and Buck gets a piece of it. Fine year this season. Last year, 12 and 5 combined. High A ball Bradenton, Double A Altoona. 139 strikeouts, just 26 walks in his 27 total starts between A ball and Double A. Led the Pirates organization in strikeouts last year.
Well, that kind of control will push you up through an organization too. If they like you and you're throwing a lot of strikes, that is going to help your movement.
Toward left center field. And there is Presley. Buck lines out to left center. Oh, Jeff Locke can take a deep breath. 1 scoreless inning under his belt. Pirates come to bat.
Sports is sponsored by Barrel Automotive, Barrel.com, definitely worth the click, and by PNC, for the achiever in you. Let's go, Bucks!
When they came back to the dugout, Michael McHenry talked with Jeff Locke. Together on signs.
Yep. Probably involving maybe when a man is on second base, making sure that they're on the same page with that. But that first inning is under his belt, and it's a 0. Big step. Big step.
Alex Presley steps in. A couple of hits last night and an RBI. Facing Anibal Sanchez,
who is listed among the leaders in the National League in strikeouts. 173. That's sixth most in the National League. 7-7, 3.83 ERA for this right-hander.
Toward the second baseman. And Infante gathers it in and throws on to first. Presley is retired. The starting lineup is brought to you by Toyota. Chase Darno will come to the plate. He'll be followed by Andrew McCutchen and Derek Lee. Neil Walker hits fifth tonight. Ryan Ludwig is in right. Pedro Alvarez returns to the lineup. He's at third base with Michael McHenry catching. And, of course, Jeff Locke making his big league debut.
Season numbers for Sanchez: a 13-game winner for the Fish last year, native of Venezuela. 6 foot, 205 pounds, 27 years old. 1-1 and 2 career starts against the Pittsburgh Pirates. A little slider action there on the outside part of the plate.
Darno came in very late to the game last night, was 0 for 1. He has appeared in 36 Major League ball games, 121 at bats for Chase Darno. 0-2. McCutchen to follow. Pirates trying to figure out these Fish. They were swept in Miami in April, lost last night big time. So they're 0-4 this year in the season series. And the Pirates have lost 10 of their last 11 games played against Florida overall. As Darno fouls this ball out of play. Anibal Sanchez is no easy customer.
No, really good outing against the Phillies. No earned runs, and that's a tough program against the Philadelphia Phillies. They are that good. Not much run support, but it has been a struggle the last 7 road starts, as you see. An ERA of about 5. So mixed bag for Anibal Sanchez, but he can get the ball to home plate in a real hurry and records his first strikeout of the evening. Look at the strike zone presented by Range Resources. Kind of a backup breaking ball, not your perfect location for a curveball, but sometimes you see that spin and you just assume it's going to be out away from you. Sometimes it just stays there and backs up, never does break a lot, and you can get a fair amount of strikeouts because the hitters react funny to that pitch that's supposed to be in a different location.
Andrew McCutchen fouls the pitch back. So 174 strikeouts on the year for Sanchez. And that is 6th in the National League, with Clayton Kershaw of the Dodgers leading everybody with 231.
Wow.
And Clint Hurdle was asked about Sanchez earlier today about being a strikeout pitcher against a team like the Pirates. His ball bounced to third. Dominguez on to Sanchez. That's Gabby Sanchez at first, and the Pirates retired in order. We played 1. It's 0-0. last night is over. He can forget about this play. Omar Infante in the 3rd inning. Daniel McCutchen delivers, and off the glove and over the wall. It's ruled a 3-run homer. Tonight's Root Sports text poll question. We'd like to know, how do you think Alex Presley's play in left field last night should have been scored? Text 1 for an error on Presley. 2 if you agree that it should remain a home run for Infante. Again, text your answer to 412-412. You can vote as often as you like. Message and data rates may apply. So, should they ruled an error? Text 1 for the error. Text 2 if you think it should remain a home run for Infante. An error. Basically, the official score decides that a fielder misplays a ball in a manner that allows a batter or base runner to reach when such an advance should have been prevented given ordinary effort by the fielder.
Do we get an opinion?
Absolutely.
In a pure sense, he did not jump. He's got a huge glove. He's reaching against the short wall.
Wow, look at that. Overwhelming right now.
I would say error. Yeah, I mean, but you will very seldom have a situation like that because the degree, it's a home run situation. That's a different scenario. Very few of those kind of things are ruled. I don't know if it's ever been ruled an error and that kind of thing.
Well, it has. That kind of play. No, I guess there have been 4 base errors charged on a fielder. This ball hit into left center field. And the catch is made by McCutchen. And what's interesting is McCutchen makes that catch. The other night, McCutchen ran into the gap. A similar play, Steve. The ball hit off his wrist, and it was ruled a double.
Yeah, I mean, there's no consistency. I mean, every scorer will have a different thought. They'll look at replays.
We had this debate in Clint Hurdle's office today about whether it should have been an error or a home run. And Hurdle's point is we've got to kind of forget about what is standard, look outside the box, and maybe this is the time we decide that should be an error. And the Pirates are going to ask Major League Baseball to review that play and maybe change it.
Alex will tell you he should have caught the ball 1,000 times.
Sure.
Because, it's not a jumping, running leap. He's back at the wall. He's reaching up over a short wall with a huge glove, and it hit off the heel of the glove. And the ball should be caught.
Well, what I said was there's a base hit to left field, a 1-out single for the rookie Matt Dominguez. If that ball had not been caught and bounced off the wall, say, and didn't go over the fence, it would have been ruled a double and there would have been no debate, in my opinion. In my opinion, in that particular play, the ball isn't caught. It hits off the top of the wall, goes for a double. I don't think anybody asks.
Right, I'm saying in a pure sense. See, he's not leaping. He's got the glove there. But that ball will never, ever be ruled an error. I mean, that's just the way it is. And that's been that way for a long time. In a pure sense, it's an error. But it will never be ruled an error, in my opinion.
And basically, there are a lot of plays similar to that in terms of effort, where balls don't go over the wall.
Degree of difficulty,
yep.
The phrase you hear.
There are ruled hits.
Yep.
Maybe should not be.
One of the other factors is
Alvarez backs up on that last hop, guns it to second, and no chance for Walker. Couldn't get a throw off. Vinny Rottino reaches on the force play.
One other fact, whenever a defensive player moves a lot, goes a lot of distance,
right.
You're going to be bringing the air advantage or
Watch
the
this
air
angle,
edge.
Steve. Okay, this is a great example of what you're talking about.
See, he goes a long way. He goes a long way, but he's there. But he is there. But when players move a considerable distance, look at that glove. My goodness. Is that legal? And I'm serious.
Sure, it's legal.
Well, there used to be restrictions. Brett Butler was an outfielder for the Dodgers.
Butler's was twice as big.
Well, they had to put it in a corral.
Yeah.
They didn't put it in a locker after the game.
So text 1 if you think it should be changed to an error, that play, or keep it the home run. Text 2, 412-412.
Don't get me wrong. I think it's a home run. I don't think it should be changed. But in a pure sense, I think technically that ball's an error. But we don't deal in a pure sense on those kind of plays.
Very, very interesting discussion in Clint Hurdle's office about that. Anibal Sanchez 1-2 to the pitcher.
This delivery, strike zone presented by Range Resources, right on or above the knees on the corner. That's a good location for anybody.
Jeff Locke terribly excited when he learned he was coming to the big leagues the other day. Dean Traynor calling him into his office after their season ended on Tuesday. Said he was going to the big leagues. He wasn't told he was going to start, just you're going to the Pirates, which was just fine for him. And then told the other day he would actually make this start Saturday night.
Yeah.
Strikes out his mound opponent.
Tested a little bit.
Innings for Jeff Locke.
Tested a little bit and comes through.
His first big league strikeout. Major League debut.
And look at the locks.
Yeah.
And that's why the hat's so big.
Yep.
Now, if he gets a haircut, that's going to go down to 6 1/4, that hat size. But he's got 2 zeros up, so he can do whatever he wants. It's like to rent some of that for a weekend.
Barrel Automotive league leaders, National League highest batting averages last 10 days. Carlos Beltran of the Giants, Derek Lee and Ryan Domit right behind him. Former Marlin Derek Lee, 1 for 3 and drove in a run last night. In the hole, 0-2. Playing in his 12th game in a Pirates uniform. With Baltimore this season, Derek Lee hit .246 in 85 games. A dozen homers, drove in 41.
Looks like Anibal Sanchez trying to crowd Derek Lee. Take a look at the strike zone presented by Range Resources. More down than in. And strikeout number 2 registered. From behind the pitcher, breaking ball downstairs, strike zone presented by Range Resources. Way down under the strike zone, gets him to chase that low breaking ball. Sanchez in his 6th major league season came over from the Red Sox after the 2005 season.
And the Mike Lowell deal.
Big deal. A lot of people involved.
Andy Ramirez also came from Florida in that trade. Mike Lowell, Josh Beckett, Guillermo Mota all went to Boston.
Good off-speed pitch to balance that good tight slider that he has in the fastball.
Souvenir.
Early in the game, you got the baseball, you got the ball game, you got the fireworks. Got it all going on tonight.
So 2 on Walker. 1 for 3 last night. We're talking again about Sanchez and those strikeout numbers, and Clint Hurdle asked about the combination of a strikeout pitcher. It just gets it past the bag. And heading to second base is Neil Walker. He's got himself a double. A 1-out, 2-base hit. Dominguez playing off the bag, and Walker hits it just inside the third base bag.
Just reaching out, just slicing it that way. Look at how far the third baseman is away. So you play a guy, you figure you've got the percentages based on past performance. Well, every once in a while, those percentages get reversed or messed up. And pretty good pitch from Sanchez and a pretty good piece of hitting by Neil Walker. And he's thinking, too, the entire time. But it gets a little interesting. Good recovery by Bonifacio down the left field corner.
Bounce to third, kicks off of Dominguez. And had he picked it up without looking to first, he'd have had plenty of time to get Ludwig. But instead, Ludwig is aboard on the air.
Well, it's a natural thing to hurry after you don't make the original play. And sometimes you just got to be patient because the ball gets to you quickly, as it does here. There's the in-between hop, keeps it in front, but reaches down, can't get the handle. Oh, the AGH camera's going to slow it down and just reach down. Didn't look like he was looking up too much, but just reached down and the ball wasn't quite there.
Dominguez playing in just his 4th big league game, known as an excellent defensive third baseman in the Southern League last year. Now, third baseman for the Pirates, Pedro Alvarez. But again, Hurdle talked about the combination, a strikeout pitcher against a team like the Pirates that strikes out a bunch. Only the Nationals and Padres hitters have struck out more time than these Buccos. And Hurdle said they've talked about it. He said with 2 strikes, you got to put a foot down and put the ball in play. And that's exactly what Neil Walker did for that double. And now 0-1 on Pedro Alvarez. And 0-2. Alvarez tripled off the center field wall last night.
And when any major league batter gets in an 0-2 hole, it makes it very tough. But when you're struggling as much as Pedro is, even more of a challenge. But, you know, all his life, he has never shortened up on a swing. I mean, you know, very, very seldom. He's a power guy. Power guys don't give in all that much. They're going to still take that power swing. I mean, that's how they've grown up. That's how they've been developed and trained. That's what they've done all their life. So it's hard for them to shorten up and change their swing approach. But that's what you want to have happen in a lot of situations when you got 2 strikes on you.
And it goes down for the 3rd strikeout for Anibal Sanchez.
In the strike zone, showing that ball well down out of the strike zone. Just not going to do much with that pitch. And he's got the luxury of throwing it down there because he's out in front 0-2. That's in the pitcher's handbook also.
So Sanchez throws the pitch in the dirt. Alvarez offers. And now Michael McHenry. Domet caught last night.
It's real simple. When you are out in front 0-2, you can fool around with a couple pitches. And that's the way it works. When you're 2-0, you don't throw balls down there. It can be that simple to give an overview to on occasion. And at times it can be awfully complicated.
Strike on McHenry. Henry just 9 for his last 54 at bats since August the 1st. That's a 167 average. Very solid month of July when he hit 289. And here's a rookie who is learning how tough this league can be. Michael McHenry. One ball, one strike. Facing one of the top strikeout pitchers in the league. And now 2-1.
That didn't miss by much. Fastball, 92 miles an hour. It's just a little bit off the outside corner. See the pattern where Sanchez is trying to work him. Just stay away, stay away, stay away. Watch the catcher now, how he sets up. Back out away. Just missing downstairs.
3-1.
Doesn't always go where the catcher wants it. You'd like it to, but just doesn't work that way. Many times you can get a real good idea. We can, and you can't as a batter, but we can watching what the late movement of the catcher is. Will give you an indication many times what type of pitch it's going to be. Away, 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 down, and then in. And he gets the call. Let's take a look at the grid here. And they say it's okay. And in the strike zone. Crank up the carousel. Here we go.
Runners will be off on this pitch. Jeff Locke is on deck. And did he go? No.
Well, look at this. Your first major league at bat with the bases loaded. A step right up against a strikeout pitcher.
Pitcher number 61.
Jeff Locke crew we talked about. Best friend Todd here.
Yes, fastball. Yes, fastball. Is that his buddy there?
I believe so.
No.
His mom and dad, sisters, aunt, cousin, his girlfriend there.
And it's so great to have those people here. Well, he got fastball. He guessed fastball, but he got a real good fastball down and in. That's not really fair.
A ball, one strike. On Jeff Locke. His first at bat in the major leagues.
And looks like he's going to get his money's worth. He's not really choking up all that much. Get the major league tattoo going for him.
2-1. Locke hit, not mistaken, 200 this year at AAA.
Going to be another fastball. That's the one right there. 2-1 to a pitcher, bases loaded. It's going to be a fastball 99.9 times. He doesn't want to go 3-2. Now he's got some wiggle room.
It's a piece of it. Jeff Locke. 2 scoreless innings on the mound. 0-0 ball game. And the bases loaded with 2 outs. A double, an error, and a free pass. Another foul ball.
Yep, stayed with the hook that time. Or a slider, breaking ball. He went away from the fastball. Was able to stay alive.
making him work.
Keep on making him work. Yep. If he misses again, it really gets dicey. But he didn't.
Strikes out the rookie Jeff Locke. The Pirates leave them loaded. We have played 2 at PNC Park. It's 0-0.
Root Sports is sponsored by Day Automotive. We're gonna make your day. Let's go Bucks!
0-0 going to the bottom half or top half of the 3rd inning after the Pirates lead. The bases loaded in the bottom of the 2nd. In the top of the order for these Florida Marlins. Before the ball game, former Pirate great Dick Groat given this nice color photo of his time at Duke, inducted in the College Baseball Hall of Fame this year.
What a great athlete. What a great athlete. He's also in the College Basketball Hall of Fame. Never played one day of minor league baseball. He's there with Neil Walker and Nick Leyva. Great athlete. Still runs the golf course, Champion Lakes, out above Ligonier. Dick Groat. Also, he went right into the big leagues with the Pirates, and that winter played pro basketball with the Fort Wayne Pistons. Talk about an athlete.
He was
National League MVP.
I always used to say he's Bo Jackson before Bo Jackson. Dick Groat.
Yeah, different build, different body type, but all-around athlete.
Being able to succeed professionally like he did in both sports, in the NBA in this case, and Major League Baseball. Definitely a different build, no doubt. Emilio Bonifacio takes a strike.
Still calling the Pitt basketball games with Bill Hillgrove. Always good to see Dick. We always have a great alumni outing up at his golf course.
Well, that would take an excellent play there to retire the speedy Bonifacio, who picks up his 39th infield base hit this season, which leads the National League.
And I would be very surprised if he stays at first base, because Peterson had a stolen base. Bonifacio has 34 of them. And the combination of having a rookie out there and having the first steal attempt succeed, I'd be very surprised if he didn't go.
He is 6th in the league in stolen bases, Bonifacio.
When you are a left-hander, you do have an advantage, but you still have to work at it. It's not a given that they won't run on you. And Bonifacio already has a decent lead, average or a little more. He's way out there. I say way out there for a left-hander to look at. You know, they'll creep out that way against a righty, but that lefty is looking at you the whole time. Now divided attention for Jeff. Got to take care of business with the runner and then switch all the application back to home plate. All the attention.
Pitch out. Not going.
You have to turn the switch from first base to home plate.
2-0 at Indianapolis. In his starts this season after being promoted from Double-A, Jeff Locke did actually better work against righties. Talked about that good changeup. They hit .219 against him. Lefties .275 at AAA.
Changeup will fade away from the right-hand batters, making it very effective.
Runner goes. Quick throw there from McHenry. He made it much closer than perhaps it even should have been.
Michael, good technique, good mechanics.
Close play.
Good technique. It's just that he had too much speed. He had a decent break. Great speed and gets the call.
Nobody out. 3-0 the count on Brian Peterson.
See if we got a different angle to. Well, not a great jump. I mean, he didn't have that 5 or 6 step move by the time the pitcher released the ball, but you can see the hand gets in there. The tag, the throw is good. The tag is good. Just too much speed.
A walk. Second time he's given up that base on balls to Brian Peterson. 2 on, no one out for Omar Infante.
And that's the kind of thing that can happen. The speed is on the base pass with nobody out. You're concerned about him. He steals a base. And you wind up behind in the count 3-0 because your divided attention may not be transferred quickly enough from first base to home plate. And it can happen. That kind of sequence can happen very often to a young pitcher. The speed is on there, and you lose track of what you're trying to do at home plate because you're overly concerned about the base runner.
Take the Pirates with you wherever you go this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv and see every Pirates game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit Pirates.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere.
Now this is a real challenge. Now this young man is out there and he's in the soup. And the Marlins are where they want to be in the batting order.
Got a real good hitter there, Stephen. Omar Infante.
Yep, it's a challenge. And these are kind of things you're going to run into.
See how Locke reacts to this big challenge. Infante bunts it. Locke slow to get to it and just does get the batter. Sacrifice.
I'm not sure what that's all about. Omar Infante sacrificing. Then on first and second, nobody out. You're the number 3 hitter.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
But there it is. And I kind of like it because now he gives Jeff Locke an out. Basically gives him an out when he's in the soup. So even if these two guys score, things haven't really gotten out of hand like they could if it just goes on and on and on before you get that first out and you get the taste of some semblance and some degree of defense. Thank you.
Gabby Sanchez was hit by a pitch in the first, nicked by a pitch, just grazed his jersey. Infield back, conceding a run, scoreless game in the third. Not close, ball 1 on Gabby Sanchez. Should we assume her first game?
Late dinner.
Big smile. One ball, 1 strike on Gabby Sanchez.
Now Jeff can kind of work here and perhaps start thinking along the lines of a strikeout attempt. You got first base open. Gabby Sanchez because struck out close to 100 times.
Two and one. 2-1. And now 3-1 with John Buck on deck. Sanchez hit 19 homers last year, drove in 85. Sitting on 18 home runs currently and has driven in 72. Turned 28 years old 8 days ago out of the University of Miami. His second full season in the big leagues with the Marlins. 3-1 pitch from Jeff Locke. Spanked foul.
But don't forget, again, he has struck out 89 times.
It's a lot of struckins out. The ball's hit hard in the seats.
Be interesting what the pitch call is here, because again, you got the open base. The batter, Gabby Sanchez, would love to see a fastball. You roll the ball around in your hand so you don't give away the grip that you're going to throw the pitch with. Just missed inside. Third walk. Also hit a batter, so throwing a bunch of pitches here early in the ball game, top of the third. We don't want a third inning like we had last night. We do not want.
I thought we weren't going to mention that.
Well, let's talk about the weather then.
All right.
Should we go back to the weather like we did?
Yeah. John Buck lined out to Alex Presley to end the first inning. Marlins stranded 2.
Buck has hit into 11 double plays.
He has hit 16 home runs. 2 grand slams this season. And ball 1.
Well, that highly regarded changeup just barely missing outside there to start off this at bat.
He's tied for 5th in the majors in home runs among catchers. Just talking.
Yeah.
And a base hit into right center field. This will score a couple. And it's a 2-0 lead. As Bonifacio and Peterson score, Sanchez to third on the base hit by John Buck.
Infield hit a couple walks and then a solid hit. So not much happening in the outfield until this ball is hit, and a good piece of hitting on a ball out over the plate, perhaps a little bit out of the strike zone. Ray Surge wants to go out and talk to this youngster.
Gabby Sanchez, who walked, moves to third base on the 2-run single by John Buck. Donnie Murphy will be coming to the plate. Murphy flied out in the second. This week on IPB, get the inside scoop on what pitch speed hitters like the best, and if pitchers try to avoid it. Plus, Richie Hebner spins a Pirate's Tale involving Roberto Clemente and goat milk. Catch all that and more inside Pirates baseball tonight, 10:30 on Root Sports. First and third, one away. And the batter, Donnie Murphy, playing shortstop tonight. Emilio Bonifacio started there last night. Hanley Ramirez is on the disabled list. And ball 1.
You know, Greg, going back to that butt from Infante, you just wonder. I wonder how many times he hits in the number 3 spot. Isn't he a kind of guy that's been in the 2 spots sometimes?
Yep.
So that might have gone into Jack McKeon's thinking. This guy is not maybe your usual number 3 guy that is quote unquote the best hitter on your club. Maybe a bat handler, hits second a good bit of the time.
I guess that's assuming that McKeon called for it, right?
Yeah.
It's possible. But, He did that on his own. One ball, 2 strikes on Donnie Murphy. Two and two.
So, top of the third is going to be shortening his overall appearance in terms of how far he goes into this ball game. Throwing a bunch of pitches now.
And now 3 and 2.
Even though he's the catcher, I'm thinking Joe Buck. I knew I'd say that eventually. John Buck. Joe Buck would not run on this count.
Joe wouldn't, huh?
No. Too cool.
To center field. And maybe a play toward the plate on Gabby Sanchez. He's going to try and score. And he will as Lee cuts it off, and they'll get the out at second.
Run, of course, got there before the out was made at second.
A sacrifice fly for Donnie Murphy. And a 3-0 lead for the Marlins. Is also here, pitching coordinator in the minor leagues for the Pirates. Special assistant to the GM and pitching coordinator Jim Benedict. Talking with both Locke and Michael McHenry. Ray Searage there. All talking to Jeff Locke.
Yep. Encouragement. Hey, you're going to run into those innings. It didn't get away from you entirely. But, boy, that's a barrage of talking. Ooh. Now, who's he going to listen to? And where are the eyes going? And there's a lot of stuff coming at him right there.
Alex Presley bounced out in the first.
Not nearly as bad as a top of the third we've had in one of the recent games.
Right. Within the last 24 hours. And 1-2.
talked about Anibal Sanchez's last start, a good one against the Phillies, and that followed a good one against the New York Mets. So he's had a couple games where he has been on his game. No earned runs against the Phillies, 6 innings, a couple unearned runs, and then previous to that, the start against the Mets, 6 innings, just a couple of runs given up. But just 7-7 on the year this year.
Missed a year with Tommy John surgery after his 3rd year of pro ball. And it stays 2-2. You can relate, Steve, to what's all going through that guy's head, can't you? Jeff Locke?
Yep. A lot of things.
Wave and a miss. 5 Ks for Anibal Sanchez. 1 down, bottom of the 3rd.
Yeah, the thing is, and you could almost see something like that coming in the top of the 3rd when the infield hit. Now you got that speed on the base, so divided attention, and you can go down that road, and it's just not easy to turn it from first base to home plate. And now you dig a deeper hole by walking that guy. Now you've set up a whole problem, kind of a third of or a half an inning, and it came across to bite him.
Chase d'Arnaud swings at the breaking pitch. d'Arnaud 122 at bats in the big leagues, 4 walks, 31 strikeouts. Hit hard, but at the second baseman.
He might have got part of the mound or part of his glove. It took a little,
kicked off something.
Yep, looked like it was well hit, but shot over toward Infante. If we can pick it up.
Just some spin. So 2 outs, brings up Andrew McCutchen. McCutchen grounded out to third baseman Matt Dominguez in the 1st.
Among other things, Sanchez does not give up a lot of home runs. With the 29th start, well, 19 home runs, not an excessive number.
Rides in, 2-0.
One of the reasons that Andrew is going to get hit some, and they're going to pitch him inside, he likes to live on the edge. In other words, he doesn't take a whole lot of the body away. He'll just kind of trying to not give with the legs and just kind of let the ball come as close as it possibly can without hitting him. Well, he really, and that's good in the way he'll hold his ground. But, you know, you
he
see
doesn't
some
bail early.
Yeah, some hitters, they're all over the place.
Even though he doesn't lean over, if those pitches ride in. And ball 4. 2 out, free pass. Now Sanchez will face Derek Lee. He struck out Lee to start the 2nd inning. Lee 2 for 6 in his career against Anibal Sanchez with a home run. Derek Lee was a former first-round pick of the Padres in 1993. 14th choice overall that year and dealt to the Florida Marlins December of 1997. Kevin Brown trade. He was a part of the 2003 World Series champion Marlins under Jack McKeon.
So he has got one of those huge, huge World Series rings. Some people say the biggest in all major sports. Perry Hill, their first base coach, back with them, and he owns one of them.
Derek Lee in the hole 0-2. McCutchen has stolen 20 and caught 9 times. Sanchez throws over ahead of the count 0-2. In the dirt.
Last year in his 13-win season, 32 starts, just 10 home runs given up. There's a plus when you keep the ball in the yard.
It's hit hard, but looks like it's hooking foul. And it was hit a long, long way, but a foul ball. Derek Lee put a charge into that one.
I hope we're going to hear Big Ben strike one. No question about distance. Well, it didn't miss by all that much, but because by the time it landed, it was still hooking. But going by that foul pole, it was pretty close.
Might have reached the first rung of the AGH rotunda, or the AGH cam. There goes McCutchen on the 2-2. It's a strikeout of Derek Lee. And it's strikeout number 6 for Anibal Sanchez. 3-0 Fish.
Sports is sponsored by Toyota. Buy right the first time and save more. Visit your local Toyota dealer for details. And by AT&T. Let's go Bucks!
And it's time for the AT&T Mobility Trivia question. And the trivia question is this. As Jeff Locke makes his Major League debut tonight, the Pirates left-hander. Pirates tie their record with 51 players used. Who holds the all-time season record for most players used in a season?
What team?
What team?
Oh, the Cardinals.
Or teams.
Cardinals.
Say it with such conviction, like you know.
Well, Greg, I got to keep a promise. We had a birthday party out in the South Hills for our granddaughter, Megan Chandler. Last turned 18 years old. Our granddaughter that we're very proud of. And well, Megan, your family thinks the world of you and your immediate family and your grandma and grandpa too. Happy birthday.
Happy
dear.
birthday.
Happy birthday, darling.
18. So it's Neil Walker, Arnold Palmer,
and Megan Blass. Yep.
And Gina Weiss, by the way.
There we go. What a
production
day.
manager at Root Sports. Happy birthday, Gina.
2 ladies and 2 gentlemen.
Dominguez's second hit. leadoff single for Dominguez.
Perry Hill in the background there, former Pirate coach.
Back with the Marlins. He coached a few years before coming to Pittsburgh. And now Vinny Rotino. Rotino bounced to Alvarez his first time up and takes inside from Jeff Locke. Second straight inning, the Marlins have gotten their leadoff man on.
And he will not be bunting with the pitcher in the on-deck circle.
Into center field, putting runners at first and second.
Now you will see the bunt. And the bullpen phone will ring here in the top of the fourth inning.
Vinny Rotino's first major league hit since 2007.
No cousin Vinny for us.
Rotino returning to the big leagues this season with the Florida Marlins. Had one at bat with the Brewers in 2008 and was 2 for 9 in 2007. As Anibal Sanchez looks to move the runners 90 feet.
Pedro over to have a word with Jeff Locke about his responsibilities. Derek Lee already starting in toward home plate.
Sanchez has 9 sacrifice bunts this season. He's trying to bunt it that way toward Alvarez as the bullpen cranks it up. Chris LaRue.
And certainly a lot of bodies out there available.
Alvarez will relay. Jeff Locke, what the Pirates will do defensively.
I don't think the script is going to change much from the Marlins standpoint. Try to get Locke to bunt the ball down the third baseline.
And the rotation player wheel play is on, and it works if the Pirates can get Alvarez to gun it to third, and he does.
Nicely done. That's the way the wheel play is supposed to work. Shortstop commits. Watch the shortstop. See d'Arnaud going? He's in motion. All Pedro's got to do is get it. Decent throw. Take your time. There's an overview of how the play is drawn up in spring training. You work on it every day. Get the lead man. Good stuff.
First and second with one away for Emilio Bonifacio. Dominguez erased. Rotino at second, Sanchez at first. Bonifacio is third year with the Marlins. Came over from the Nationals along with a couple of other players for Josh Willingham and Scott Olson. Another look. The wheel play.
They want the ball at first base.
Yeah.
Or is he saying don't do it?
Maybe he's saying don't
come
throw.
on.
But it looked as though it was obviously the batter runner being a pitcher.
Yep.
I think he was about maybe 3/4 of the way down there. I wonder if d'Arnaud might have had a shot at a double play. They do get the lead man. Chase d'Arnaud, the shortstop, sprinted for third. Alvarez crashed in from third base.
I gotta believe when was that Neil over at first base? That'd be Neil.
Yeah.
When you're holding your arms up, I gotta believe it's don't.
Mm-hmm.
because usually if you're going to expect to throw.
Now do turn 2 if you can, and the pick by Derek Lee.
Yes.
The speedy Emilio Bonifacio bounces to Chase Darno, and Derek Lee picks it out of the dirt, inning-ending DP. Responders from around the region joining us for a special First Responders Appreciation Day at PNC Park tomorrow, 1:35 against the Marlins. All local and current first responders are eligible for 2 complimentary tickets. 5,000 complimentary tickets will be donated for this event. Tickets subject to availability and will be distributed while supplies last. For more information, please visit pirates.com/firstresponders. And we have been taking donations for the Flight 93 National Memorial in Shanksville all weekend long. We'll do it again tomorrow out at the gates. Neil Walker takes ball 1. Walker doubled just inside the third base bag. 2-base hit with 1 out in the second, but he was stranded. The Pirates had them loaded. Alex Sanchez was able to strike out Jeff Locke to end that threat. Popped up. Shortstop Murphy.
My recollection, going back to that trivia question, Greg, was that beside the Cardinals, I think there was another team that just doesn't come to me, but
really?
Sure, the Cardinals.
Okay, you're sure the Cardinals. Jeff Locke starting tonight. Pirates using record 51 players used, tying their record. Who holds the all-time season record? Which teams? Indians and Padres. The 2002 Indians, the 2002 Padres, and the 08 Padres. 59.
Yeah, I knew the Indians.
I didn't see the Cardinals at all on that list, Steve.
But I knew the Indians were the other team.
Yeah, but you mentioned the Cardinals, and they weren't one of those teams.
Right.
You're so gracious in defeat.
I've become comfortable with it.
The former Padre Brian Ludwig. Dressed for the part.
We have seen some Pirate outfits this season, haven't we? With all these people out here.
Melissa been hooked. She's a Pirates fan. Jams Ludwig. out of the left field loony section. That's awesome.
How much fun is that to
Yeah.
get dressed up and go to the ballpark and have a great time?
Yeah.
It's good. Good stuff. Got their gloves. Brought the gloves to the game with them. We got one of those energy necklaces. No?
I hope so.
Do they call them necklaces?
What do you call your wristband? Your bracelet?
Wristband. I call it pretty much a wristband.
Energy bracelet?
Yeah.
How's that working for you, by the way?
Very good. I've never
Good.
felt better.
Good.
Never felt better.
That's great. Yeah, he does. He's got one of those necklaces. Ropes.
No, it's not a rope. It's
It's not a rope.
No.
There's the bracelet, Steve. This ball's going to be fouled out of play. Show that off. Look at that.
energy carrier. Yeah. Almost like a strength thing. Make
Really?
your wrist.
Oh, my God. I've noticed that. You've got a lot more energy and a lot more strength.
That's right.
How long have you been wearing that?
I don't think that's any of your concern.
All right.
But it's been a while. Feels good. Got to try one. You've been a little sluggish lately. Energy care. Yep. Get her done.
Yep. Whatever works for you. If in your mind
You'll be
you
trying-
feel that you're more energetic,
You'll be trying things at my age.
all four, nowhere close as Sanchez walks Ludwig to face Pedro Alvarez with one away here in the fourth.
Now, do the guys take those necklaces off at night?
Why would you?
I
So you
don't-
sleep
I
better,
just
maybe?
asked. It was just a question.
Yeah, I
you
don't
didn't
know.
answer a question with a question.
Sure you do.
You went to college,
Do
didn't
you
you?
take your
Why do
bracelet
you,
off?
why do you hate America?
Do you take your bracelet off?
No.
When you sleep?
No.
Why not?
There's no need to. It's not a necklace.
Aren't you concerned because it gives you so much energy? It's tough to sleep with that thing on.
I
You'd
sleep
get a
like a
much
bit.
better sleep if you took that off. That'll be our next text poll question. Should Steve take that wristband off so he can get a better sleep at night?
Bottom line, buddy, energy
Yeah?
care.
Yes, sir.
Don't forget it.
If you care, prepare. Steve's motto for many, many years. If you care, prepare.
And if you don't care, well, don't worry about it. I had a buddy once said, if it's not going to affect your life in 10 years, don't worry about it.
How about that? Words to live by.
Pearls.
Standards. Well, here's the tough count. 0-2 on Alvarez. Struck out in the second on a pitch in the dirt on an 0-2 pitch. Boy, that was smoked right at shortstop. Ludwig tries to crawl back to first and is thrown out. And the first base umpire is Jerry Meals.
And guess who?
And he is hearing it from the hometown crowd. They will not soon forget Atlanta. 3-0 in favor of the Florida Marlins as Alvarez hits that one just on the button. 2011, featuring Steve Miller Band live in concert following the Pirates-Reds 7:05 game on Saturday night, September 24th, playing all their biggest hits, including The Joker, Take the Money and Run, and many, many more. Steve Miller Band live in concert following the Reds-Buccos Saturday, September 24th game, 7:05. For tickets to Fan Jam, go to pirates.com. Steve Miller Band.
Yeah, that's not Steve Miller, that's Mike Krukow, the Giants broadcaster.
He loves performing here. And of course, fireworks and belly fireworks.
He's ready.
The finale of 2000. Can you believe it? The last fireworks night of the year tonight.
I can't. I really can't.
After
all of a sudden,
we have one
in a
more
rush.
Saturday night home game. One more. That's Steve Miller Band concert, and then the finale on Sunday, the 25th. Final game of the year.
7 more home games.
Yep.
Wow. Where did that all go? Top everything, we're going to be fooling around with a full moon pretty soon.
Uh-oh. Here's Brian Peterson. He's walked twice.
Not afraid to come inside. You got to like that.
Peterson walked and stole a base in the first inning, walked and scored in the third, fourth rounder in 2007. University of California. And in the air to right.
Well,
it's a good start for the fifth inning for Locke.
Yeah, he's done just fine. He gave up the 3 spot in the third. I wonder if Espada over there is giving him the same stuff I got from Leo DeRocher when I made my first start in the big leagues at Dodger Stadium. I heard words from Leo that had never heard, and I've heard them since. But he just constantly screaming over it. Just see
the
if
third base coach, you mean?
Yeah, Leo. And, of course, Leo went on to manage the Cubs, and when Leo passed away, it was the biggest funeral ever in Chicago. Everybody wanted to make sure he was dead.
Joe Esprada, the third base coach. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jack McKeon, 80-year-old manager of the Florida Marlins. Two and 1.
Leo was an evil man.
Was he really?
Evil.
Come on.
Evil man.
No.
Yes, he was.
Hit hard, but there's Chase Darno to battle it.
Keep throwing him the atom ball, Jeff.
Another look. The ball hit hard.
You get the visual, the audio, and the video. That ball is tattooed. You could hear the crack of the bat all over the place.
Gabby Sanchez at the plate. Fouls this ball sharply off to the right.
Yourself 1, 2, 3 inning here, Jeff. One, two, three. That'll buy you at least one more inning, I would think. And quiet in the Pirate bullpen right now.
You wonder how the Pirates will do it. I guess it ought to be interesting. Locke due up second in the bottom of the fifth. 2 and 1 on Gabby Sanchez. Hit by a pitch and walked.
That's not going to help your chances of sticking around for that 6th inning. If we can finish it up here, as the phone is going to ring in the bullpen once again. That free pass might have created a decision. We'll have to wait and see.
Last time out for Jeff Locke, who was pitching for AAA Indianapolis. It'll be Chris Resop to start loosening. Jeff Locke went 5 innings 5 days ago against the AAA affiliate of the Cincinnati Reds, the Louisville Bats. 5 innings, gave up 3 hits, 1 earned run. At AA Altoona this year, Jeff Locke was 7-8 with a 4.03 ERA. Promoted to AAA Indianapolis, and in 5 starts had a 2.22 earned run average. And Ray Searage will make a trip to the mound. Jeff Locke earning all-star accolades 3 times in his minor league career.
Well, things going on inside him now, but you can see even by the body language and listening to Ray, he's more comfortable. He's tired now. He's gotten into the game, so the jitters have settled down to a considerable degree. So he's probably a little more relaxed right now, but Ray telling him, listen, get yourself 1 more out, have yourself a clean 5 innings in spite of the 3 spot, and you will have done well your first major league start. See if you can get that accomplished.
John Buck lined out to end the first inning and singled in 2 runs in the 3rd. To Alvarez, backs up on the last hop, guns it over to Derek Lee.
Well done.
And Jeff Locke has a scoreless top of the 5th. Through 4.5, it's 3-0 Fish. Great shots from the AGH cam as Michael McHenry leads off. Xavier Paul comes out on deck to bat for Jeff Locke. Pirates down 3, and Michael McHenry lifts one to left field. Back toward the track. And the catch made by Bonifacio. Jeff Locke came back into the dugout after his 5 innings. signal that 5 innings was going to be it for him. 5 innings allowed 5 hits, 3 runs. Coming to Charlie Morton there.
Remember, he got that start under his belt. Didn't do great, didn't do horrible. 3 runs in 5 innings. Hey, you're on the book. His line.
C.B. Bucknor, the third base umpire. Dan Iasonia, the home plate umpire. Paul bats for Jeff Locke with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. It's a crowded dugout these days. The players that were at it, some of the coaches. You saw Jim Benedict, the pitching coordinator. I see Jeff Branson, the hitting coach at AAA Indianapolis. Look at those bodies down there.
It's a busy place.
Two and 2. And Sanchez registers another strikeout. That is 7.
He has had as many as 11 in his previous starts this year.
Struck out Presley in the 3rd. Alex Presley was 2 out of 5 last night. 0 for 2 tonight. A college teammate of Chris Coughlin at Mississippi. Coughlin, injury-plagued season. Count 0-2.
About time we picked up our second hit of the night, isn't it?
We're overdue for that one. Gotta get her going. Chris Coughlin was a Rookie of the Year 2 years ago for the Fish. Foul past Luis Silverio. We talked at the outset of the game about our text poll question tonight, and look at this, closing the gap. How should that Presley play last night be scored? It's currently a home run, but perhaps being reviewed by Major League Baseball, submitted by the Pirates. The Presley error or Infante home run? 1 for changing the call, 2 for keeping it a home run. 412-412. Standard text rates apply, and we'll keep checking back in our text poll question as Sanchez enjoys his second 1-2-3 inning of the night. 3-0 Florida. Jeff Locke to congratulate him on a solid start. 5 innings, 3 runs, 5 hits, his major league debut. Pedro Alvarez, pat on the back. Nissan presents the road ahead for the Pirates here on Root Sports tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Airtime, 1:35 first pitch. It's a Kids Sunday tomorrow. And then Albert Pujols and the Cardinals make their final trip into Pittsburgh this year. 6:30 Monday and Tuesday nights, noon on Wednesday here at PNC Park. Tuesday night will be another all-access night. We got such great feedback from our first all-access night, and really backed by popular demand, and that is awfully fun. You're going to want to tune into that one Tuesday night. I hope you can make it out to the ballpark. Also, one of these games coming up.
Not many left.
Nope.
The numbers for Chris LaRue, and he has been on quite a roll. He has retired the last 17 batters he has faced. So look at it this way: if he was starting a game and he retired 17 in a row, he'd be deep into the 6th inning with a perfect game.
LaRue 5 up and 5 down on Wednesday against Houston. Donnie Murphy takes ball 1.
Saw the line for Jeff Locke: 5 innings, 3 runs on 5 hits. He walked 4 and struck out 1.
Ball, 1 strike. Movement there of the LaRue pitches.
A lot of fastball slider combos.
LaRue talked about how this year he went to AA Altoona to work with Jim Benedict, whom we have seen in the dugout, and who was credited with doing a lot of good work with Charlie Morton over the winter, working on that arm slot, along with Wally Whitehurst, the pitching coach for the Curve. And that really has been a world of difference for Chris LaRue. He's been scored upon just twice in his 14 games with the Pirates. Jim Benedict on your right, next to manager Dean Traynor, AAA Indy, Jeff Branson. If I'm not mistaken, that's Tom Filer. Greg Ritchie, the major league staff, the hitting coach. Three and 2 on Donnie Murphy.
Yep. Waiting for the comeback.
Fly ball right center, and McCutchen drifting over.
18 in a row for Chris. Well hit, but a lot of air underneath it. Plenty of time for Andrew McCutchen to go over and then give a little ground and bring it in. Over and out. See how close the eyes are to the glove. And you just lock in and it just brings it on in most of the time.
On Dominguez. Matt Dominguez, part of Team 818, they call themselves. Mike Stanton, Dominguez, and Brian Peterson. All drafted in 2007 by the Marlins. And they all live 15 minutes apart from each other in Southern California. Area code 818. Dominguez, 22 years old, a first-round pick in 2007, the 12th overall choice that season by the Marlins. Line toward left, Presley coming in. 2 outs.
19 in a row. A nice run Chris LaRue's on.
So we asked Neil Huntington on one of his radio shows recently whether the Pirates would consider talking about LaRue as a starter once again. He began his professional career with the Florida Marlins after they drafted him in the 7th round of 2005 as a starter briefly in his professional career, first full season, but reliever ever since. But he has excellent stuff. But Neil Huntington said we wouldn't totally discount it, would bring it up in discussions, but that's a lot to ask. And of course, when you find a guy, Steve, who is having such success in one role,
yeah, sometimes you just want to
find your place, right?
Let him just keep on trucking. Sometimes you like to leave him in that comfort zone, that effective zone, whether it's comfortable or not, getting it done role.
LaRue brought it up to the Pirates at spring training, the possibility.
Well, if you've started, if you've ever been a starter, that love affair,
it's hard not to want to go back to it.
That love affair never goes entirely away. I mean, there's only one glamour role in the bullpen. Yeah. That's the closer.
Yeah.
The starter, I mean, that's high profile. Once you've had a taste.
It certainly has been done.
Yeah.
Guys being converted, and takes care of Ratina with that rising fastball. 95 on the gun. 1, 2, 3. Go the fish.
Sports is brought to you by Levin Furniture, featuring handcrafted Amish furniture. Let's go Bucks!
Getting ready for the fireworks and hoping Pirates can turn on the offense here as we move to the 6th inning. Just one hit against Anibal Sanchez, and the 2, 3, 4 hitters do up d'Arnaud, McCutchen, and Lee, and Chris LaRue. Another scoreless inning, Steve.
Yep, 20 in a row. He's retired.
Bunted foul by d'Arnaud. Good idea. Excellent speed. And to get aboard here to start the bottom of the 6th. Check it out on the AGH cam.
A little bit too much English on it. You see the spin. The AGH camera never gets old. Every night it's fun to watch it work, do its thing.
Yep.
It's magic.
Really is. Popped up on the infield. Infante. Sanchez retires Garneau to start the 6th inning. The only hit belongs to Neil Walker, that ground double inside the third base bag in the 2nd. McCutchen has grounded out and walked.
7 strikeouts, 3 walks, an error committed, and a base hit. And that's been it for the Pirate offense.
Ball and a strike on the Pirates center fielder. 22 home runs on the year, 85 RBIs for McCutchen. And 1-2. RBIs, second only to Matt Kemp among National League center fielders. Kemp of the Dodgers has driven in 104. Meanwhile, Anibal Sanchez, who's coming off a strong start against the Phillies 6 days ago. 6 innings, 2 unearned runs against the Phils. And he gets another K. 8 for Anibal Sanchez.
Rolling right along.
Steve mentioned his 11 strikeout performance against the Nationals on May the 8th. He's gotten Derek Lee twice. Foul out of play.
He is cooking right now, jumping out in front, 0-2. You're pitching this kind of ball game at this point in the ball game that you're dominant. I mean, you just want to get the ball. I know I'm going to throw a good pitch. You're just locked in and feeling pretty good about everything you're doing.
Grounded right at second. Murphy on to first. 1-hit shutout being tossed tonight by Anibal Sanchez through 6 innings. Kids Day at the ballpark. All kids 14 and under get Pirate slippers courtesy of Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Come early for the #1 Cochran Kids Fun Zone out on Federal Street before the game. And after the ball game, all kids can run the bases thanks to H.K. Anderson Pretzels. Go to Pirates.com for tickets. Chris LaRue out there for second inning and faces Anibal Sanchez, who was 0 for 2 against the starter, Jeff Locke, but who is one-hitting the Pirates through his 6 innings of work. Two-one count. Career .093 hitter is Anibal Sanchez.
He is in a tough spot against a pitcher who is on a roll. You know, we should revisit that subject about Chris LaRue with our starting rotation in shambles right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in disarray.
Yeah.
You wonder if that might lend itself to continuing that conversation that he brought up at spring training.
Yeah, because the Pirates are going to be looking all over for starters, and maybe from within, and maybe a guy, who knows, like LaRue, the Pirates might revisit that conversation. Myrtle talked about players who had a starter's background who are succeeding. Pirates draft choices. Now, LaRue was not a Pirate draft pick, but we mentioned already his first year of pro ball in the Marlins organization. He did start in 2006 before being converted to a relief role. We've seen Tony Watson succeed out of the bullpen after starting most of his pro career in the minor leagues. Jared Hughes, another, as Chris LaRue keeps on trucking.
Finally gets him a lot of pitches thrown in this at bat, as you can see, and he finally does get him to swing through one. 9-pitch strikeout. Ride this streak as long as you can, Chris.
Bonifacio trying to bunt and slaps at it. Yes, you hear Dan Iasonia, the home plate umpire. Bonifacio 1 for 3, infield single in the 3rd inning. There's Jared Hughes just talking about the big 6'7" right-hander out of Stamford, Connecticut.
Correspondence work. People still do write letters, you know, in spite of all the technology.
Yeah. Slapped into center field for Bonifacio.
So that breaks the streak that Chris LaRue had going for 21 straight outs.
Saw Jared Hughes out in the bullpen. Our PNC achievement for the Achiever and you last night against the Marlins. 11 pitches, 9 strikes, 1 1/3 scoreless. Wednesday against the Astros, 13 pitches, 9 strikes. Jared Hughes, who allowed 4 hits in his last 15 games, dating back to his AAA time at Indianapolis.
A couple of fun outings for him. I would suggest that Chris keep a close eye on Bonifacio. Not much offense overall in the ball game. Just 3 runs on 7 hits, completely different from last night. Yep, said it again, but I'd be surprised if he didn't go. Stole a base earlier.
There he goes. On the stolen base. Number 36 on the season.
And you just have to do everything perfectly to have a chance to get him. That time he gets a real good jump. Takes a hit, but records steal number 36.
So he is in scoring position for Brian Peterson. Ray Searage, another trip to the mound. Talking with Chris LaRue. Canadian native who turned 27 years old in April. Pirates claimed him off waivers from the Marlins in September of last year, September 13th.
Ray might be going out there to tell him, listen, don't lose track of him at second base. He'll go to third in a minute if you do lose track.
Two 2-0 on Brian Peterson. Peterson against the starter Jeff Locke, walked twice and flied to right. How's that looking, Steve?
It's looking real good. It's looking real good.
Broken bat bouncer to first. Derek Lee. On to LaRue.
You better turn around, Chris, because Bonifacio, if he sees you continuing down the right field line after you take that feed from Derek Lee, he's going to go home in a minute. That's another thing you're taught every day in spring training. Pitchers fielding practice. When you cover first base, turn around. Look if anything's going on in the infield and back of you. Just work on it every day so you don't have to think about it. Hit that bag and turn around. Bang. That's the way it's supposed to be done.
Omar Infante lined out twice against Locke and sacrificed.
Good technique right there. Just slide the body over, keep the ball out in front. That freezes everybody. Anytime it gets real hectic, the minute that ball gets behind you, runners on the base paths, they start getting anxious to go somewhere. By the way, if you're thinking down the road toward the last third of this ball game about Sanchez, he has thrown as many as 125 pitches in the game. So don't look for that to be a factor for a while.
With the 90 pitch mark now. Bonifacio at third, 2 outs, 7th inning. Infante, who was acquired over the winter, along with pitcher Mike Dunn for Dan Ugla. Last night, 2 home runs, giving him 5 on the season. And 42 runs batted in. Dan Ugla, his first year with the Braves, 33 homers, 73 RBIs.
This is the point where you might want to go upstairs with that real good fastball again. Nope. Stays.
Look at this. How about the English on that ball?
Yep.
That is unbelievable. Wow. Man, that was
right
wild.
back across the line.
7th inning stretch time.
We invite you now to stand, follow the bouncing Eaton Park Smiley Cookie, and join everyone watching at home on Root Sports as we sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Head to the bottom of the 7th inning at PNC Park on a fireworks night. You're watching it all on Root Sports. AGH Cam with those great pictures. Happy birthday, Neil, the Keystone Kid. Neil Walker leads off.
Keeping the faith.
His 26th birthday, fouls this ball back. He is 1 for 2, the only hit of the game. The Neil Walker double in the second, the only hit of the ball game for the Pirates.
And that gives you the feeling that it's a ball game that's out of reach for the Pirates, but it's only a 3-0 ball game. But because they've only got one hit, it makes it appear more in the Marlins' favor. So get something going here, you're right in business. You get 3 runs in a heartbeat. Got to get it started. Credit where credit is due. Sanchez has been that tough.
Sanchez, who had a no-hitter as a rookie in 2006. Strikes out Neil Walker. Punch out number 9 for Anibal Sanchez. Became the 19th Major League rookie to throw a no-no. September 6, 2006 against the D-backs in Miami.
The spin. Big out right there. Got to have a lot of outs to do that. 27 of them. Some of them have to be above average. Yeah. Emotions.
It was just his 13th Major League start. Faced 31 batters, walked 4, struck out 6. Became just the second Venezuelan-born pitcher to toss a no-hitter, joining Wilson Alvarez, who no-hit the Orioles as a rookie with the White Sox in August of 1991. Grounded to the shortstop, Murphy. Ludwig is out number 2.
And he has done it mixing up a very adequate fastball, breaking ball, some changeup, off-speed stuff. He's had Pirate batters off downs, as you might guess, when you're thinking about one hit through 6+ innings. Doing a whole lot of pitching and racking up the strikeouts. You know, we told you, he came into the game 6th among National League strikeout leaders. He has not hurt his cause tonight.
He has retired 9 straight Pirates, 11 of the last 12. Alvarez lined into a double play in the 4th. Alvarez, the hardest hit ball of the night for the Pirates.
So he has faced the minimum since way back at the free pass in the 3rd. I hope of that double play.
Right at second. Infante on to first. A one-hitter for Anibal Sanchez through 7. Beat the Mets in New York 5-4 earlier. A wild one at Coors Field in Denver. The two teams combined for 9 homers in the first 5 innings. Astros over the Nationals in the 7th, 8-3. Phillies and Brewers are tied at 2 in Milwaukee, top of the 8th inning. The Cardinals have a 1-run lead over the Braves in St. Louis in the 7th. In the 4th inning, the D-backs and the Padres are knotted up at 2 apiece. And just underway in San Francisco's AT&T Park, the Dodgers and the Giants. Blue Jays win in walk-off fashion over the Orioles in Toronto. White Sox beat the Indians 7-3. That was a 10-inning ball game. Alex Rios with a grand slam. Tigers and Twins, and the Tigers win their 8th straight, 3-2 over Minnesota. That score. Athletics beat the Rangers 8-7. 4-3. The Rays lead by 1 in the 6th. The Angels and the Yankees are scoreless in the 1st inning. Chris Rysop appears in his 71st game this season.
Among the league leaders in appearances, 34,063. Attendance just announced. Great turnout. They'd love to see a Pirate comeback, but getting late. Getting real late.
Popped up.
Major league pop-up.
Darno.
Really
34,063. Final fireworks night of the year.
Never fails to look great in this yard.
Bucks and Marlins meeting in game 2 of this 3-game series. Another fine crowd here. Pirates have drawn nearly 1.8 million fans their first 73 home dates. Almost 24,500. Pirates have drawn 1.8 million fans a total of 7 times in their 125-year history, and more than 1.9 million 3 times. Have to figure they're going to approach that 1.9 million mark.
Yep.
When all is said and done. Tomorrow afternoon against the Marlins, then 3 with the Cardinals. Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday afternoon, and the final 3 home games of the year will be against the Cincinnati Reds.
You know it'll be a full house when Steve Miller is here.
23rd, 24th, and 25th, a weekend series. Jason Grilli in the bullpen.
LaRue once again outstanding outing. 2 scoreless innings, a hit and 2 strikeouts.
It's a neat looking angle there at that bullpen. So the Marlins and the Pirates pen. So here is the look ahead. We mentioned the Marlins tomorrow, then the Cardinals, and on the road to LA and Arizona. And Steve circles the remaining home games, and then on to Milwaukee.
Some of my finest work this year, I think.
I don't think so.
Right.
How about the Marlins coming to Pittsburgh for the first time and only time, their only trip in? Here we are, September 9th, 10th, and 11th, and then the Pirates go to LA for the first and only time next week, and then into Phoenix. Youngsters on hand.
Indeed. Let's go Bucks.
Down on strikes goes John Buck.
Upstairs. And empty.
Race up in the top 5 of the National League in appearances. Murphy 3 times has flied out to Andrew McCutchen tonight. His sacrifice fly in the 3rd inning turned into a double play to end the inning, as the throw from McCutchen was cut off by Derek Lee, and they threw out John Buck trying to go from first to second.
But it did knock in the 3rd and last run we've seen.
Those 3 runs came in the 3rd inning. Two outs in the 8th. Michael McHenry will lead off the bottom half of the 8th inning. Then we'll have a pinch hitter in Alex Presley. Donnie Murphy, Inglewood, California native, signed as a minor league free agent December of 2009 by the Marlins. Checks his swing at a pitch in the dirt. Fifth-round pick of the Royals in 2002, and getting some playing time with the injury to Hanley Ramirez. Lined right at Neil Walker. 1-2-3 for Risa. Pirates have 2 more shots at Anibal Sanchez and the Marlins. They trail by 3. There he is, one hit shutout going. Anibal Sanchez. Michael McHenry leads off. Nope. It's going to be Josh Harrison's going to bat for him. And then it will be Ryan Doumit. Trying to get something started, anything, against Sanchez and the Marlins. Buck's best chance was in the second inning. And them loaded, but the pitcher Jeff Locke. Ball bounced to short.
Well, let's take a look at exactly how good Sanchez has been with his 9 strikeouts. Keep in mind, keep in touch with the location. That one's up a little bit, but a lot of strikeouts with pitches right down there, down in the zone, down in the zone. Total's going to get up to 9, but you see what he's featuring. He's not getting the ball upstairs, not leaving it up in the hitting zone. He has been outstanding. It's not one of those cases where the Pirate bats have been cold tonight. He's been hot. He's been pitching extremely well. 9 Ks, most of them downstairs.
Anibal Sanchez has faced the Pirates 3 times now in his career. It'll be Garrett Jones instead of Doumit had Harrison reached. Clint Hurdle would have gone to Doumit instead with nobody on and 1 away. It's Garrett Jones. Of his 15 homers have come with runners on, 11 with the bases empty. Garrett Jones, who has gone .368 off the bench this season, 7 for 19 with 5 RBIs. Ball to right at the track. Martino.
He's just dealing right now.
It's 12 straight Pirates set down and 14 of 15.
You know, when you get to this point in a dominant ball game like he's having, it's partially momentum roll that you're on, and it's also getting to be adrenaline because he knows the finish line is up. So you know, you're thinking you're exerting yourself pretty well in the 6th or 7th, but the 8th, or if the 9th you get to that, you're not thinking you're tired, and you just, the adrenaline, the mental part of the finish line awareness, it's a good place to be in for a starting pitcher.
To left,
making it look easy. He's making it look real easy.
A breeze. That was 7 pitches. 1 hit shutout intact for Anibal Sanchez. The Marlins lead 3-0. 5th. A's beat the Rangers 8-7. Brandon Inge, a walk-off solo homer in the 9th. Tigers win their 8th straight. Alex Rios, a walk-off grand slam in the 10th inning. White Sox 5-2 in their last 7 games, and Ozzie Guillen expects to be back next year. Cliff Lee, 7 innings, 2 runs, 1 earned, couple of walks, 7 strikeouts against the Brewers. That game tied at 2 in the 8th.
New battery for the Pirates. Jason Jaramillo behind the plate. Jose Veras on the mound. We've been at 3-0 for a long time due to the work of Anibal Sanchez. Reese off the scoreless inning with a strikeout.
A lot of birthdays, Steve.
Indeed.
On a fireworks night. Matt Dominguez leads off. A couple of singles off the starter. Jeff Locke is on the hook for this one. And Dominguez lined out to left field his last time up.
We're still going to have a chance for Neil Walker perhaps to be involved in a very happy birthday if we can get around to him and get something going in the bottom of the 9th inning. But need to have Jose put up a 0 here in the top half of the inning.
Falls behind Dominguez 2-0. Dominguez playing in his 4th big league game. Jeff Locke made his major league debut tonight. Dominguez. This is his first major league start. Rifles that one past Derek Lee. A 3-hit night for Matt Dominguez. So he is 4 for 8 to start his big league career. First round pick in 2007. 22 years old. The 12th overall choice that year in 07 out of Chatsworth High School. You know, the Marlins over the years, Steve, have been known for bringing up really exciting players, making deals oftentimes to bring in talent. 1997, winning the World Series. Just 4 years after this franchise began, and then complete turnover in 97 with all the trades following that World Series championship under Jim Leyland. And Jack McKeon took over halfway through the 2003 season and led the Fish to their 2nd World Series championship. Then there was more turnover. They've made more trades, and they're hopeful moving into their new ballpark next year that with Hanley Ramirez having a healthy season, fingers crossed for them next year, that they'll have a shot to compete next season. Anibal Sanchez, no surprise, will hit, working on a 1-hit shutout.
Getting more efficient as he goes along. What do they say? They'll get a free ride for at least a couple of years with a new ballpark. Just the fascination and the interest in the new yard. And
there is speculation that they'll bring in some free agents the first time in a while. Try and show the community that they very much want to win when they move into that new yard. have to believe that they'll be looking for a new manager. Jack McKeon, when he came on board, almost as a favor to ownership, said, look, he told the players from day one, you know, I don't need this job. I didn't solicit this. I'm not working to manage in 10 years. He might not be interested really in managing even next season. But whoever takes over for the Fish, if it is Jack McKeon for another year, whoever, they figure to have some pretty decent talent.
Well, one person in Pittsburgh that's really happy that Jack McKeon is managing is Elmer Gray, who has been a good friend of Jack McKeon's for a lot of years. And Elmer's been here the last couple of nights. He's getting some help getting around these days, but make sure he sees Jack. They've been great friends. Elmer Gray, one of the great scouts, one of the great ambassadors of baseball in the Pittsburgh area, even when he wasn't working for the Pirates. But a lot of years.
A lot of great years as a scout for the Reds, and of course McKeon has ties to the Reds and a handful of other organizations.
That's when he really was Trader Jack.
Yeah, really going back to San Diego. His first managing job was with the Royals in 1973. He held that position until July of '75 and was replaced by Whitey Herzog, which was a month after Clint Hurdle was drafted in the first round, June of 1975, by the Royals, the 9th overall pick that season. And then in 1977, Jack McKeon became the manager of the Oakland A's, replacing Chuck Tanner, because Tanner was pretty much fed up after 1 year, fed up with Charlie Finley. And they worked a deal out with the Pirates, trading Chuck Tanner to Pittsburgh for Manny Sanguillen.
Player for a manager.
In fact, you and I talked to Sanguillen. Yep. You stopped by the booth a couple of innings back and talked about how happy he is to see McKeon back at the bench. He enjoyed playing for Jack McKeon, both in the big leagues and in winter ball.
Sanguillen confirmed all that, we think.
Yeah.
And he stopped by tonight.
We believe. Yep. Eventually McKeon would be replaced by Bobby Winkles in June of 1978.
Wasn't Bobby Winkles the Arizona State former college coach?
Yeah. McKeon went back to manage Oakland again. He and Winkles kind of traded places in Oakland. And Kenny Rattino goes down on strikes. Jose Veras gets the first out, and now he'll face Anibal Sanchez. Sanchez at the plate, a couple of strikeouts, and bunted into the wheel play in the 4th inning.
Be bunting again, the Pirates think. Alvarez up at third base.
Will bunt a lot. Second to the Milwaukee Brewers in terms of sacrifice bunts. That's a bit of a surprise. The Brewers are tops in the bunting department.
They're doing a lot of things right this year.
Yeah. Dominguez at first with 1 out. Yes, he did.
On his full retreat. Hard to make an attempted bunt when you're backing away.
When you're out of the batter's box, it is tough to get a bat on ball.
The departure and then the attempt. No escaping the AGH game.
Bonifacio has 2 of the 7 hits for the Florida Marlins. Jose Veras spent last year in the Florida Marlins organization. Appeared in 48 games at the big league level. The Fish, 3.75 ERA. Last season, Veras with the Marlins held lefties to a 155 batting average. It's one of the reasons why the Pirates wanted him in their bullpen. Strong numbers against left-hand hitters, despite the fact Harris throws from the right side. This year, they're hitting only 189 against him. And that number will go down even further as Bonifacio flies out to center. Last shot for the Pirates as we go to the bottom of the 9th. Started. A 1 hit, a 1-out double by Neil Walker in the 2nd inning.
And if you weren't around to see it, clean as the third baseman Dominguez was way off the bag at third. Just a ground ball down the left field line. Still time to break the heart of Mr. Sanchez here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
He aims for his 4th career shutout. He had the no-hitter, of course, we mentioned as a rookie. He had a 1-hitter this season against Colorado. His 4th start of the season down in Miami. 1-hit shutout of the Rockies on April the 22nd. No, 0 for 3. Moneyball Sanchez.
He had some control issues early in this ball game, but since the 4th inning, the Pirates have not had a base runner.
5 career complete games for him. One ball, 2 strike count on d'Arnaud. He has struck out, grounded out, and popped up. Sanchez has retired 13 straight and 15 of the last 16 batters he's faced. Again, as Steve said, he had a 125 pitch outing back in June. as he strikes out Darno at the knees. Number 10.
Told you about Neil Walker's double. There it is. Right down inside the chalk. And that's 2 bases every time for Neil. Boy, since that free pass in the 4th inning, he's just been pouring strikes in. Just pouring them into a bucket.
He walked Ludwig after retiring the first man in the 4th inning, and then Pedro Alvarez hit, as we said, the hardest hit ball of the night by a Pirate player, right at the shortstop Murphy. He turned it into a double play.
He's been moving the ball around the strike zone, but especially in 2-strike situations, he has not been upstairs very often.
Sanchez looking for his 2nd shutout of the season. Be the 4th of his career. And again, his 6th complete game should he finish this off. 1 down in the bottom of the 9th. Another strikeout.
Hold the string there, beautifully done, not disguising or not giving it away. Same arm action he had on the fastball and the curveball. Off speed, right there. Just quite an exhibition. Ties his career high.
No 1-1 on Derek Lee. And this should do it. A 1-hit masterpiece by Anibal Sanchez.
119 pitches and probably about 85 and 90 quality pitches from this right-hander. He was sensational.
It is his 4th career shutout. The Marlins toss as a team their 9th shutout. The Pirates are blanked for the 13th time this season. A 1-hit masterpiece by Anibal Sanchez. And 3 runs were plenty. They came in the 3rd inning. Pirates postgame is coming up next from PNC Park.